on, babies.
Thank you, Irene.
Gentlemen.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh, fuck you, Ray. Screwed up my sneeze.
Yes.
Oh.
Queen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
As soon as I hit admit on Bill's thing, I had a sneeze. It was like I was allergic. And you fucked it up with that song.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen. Welcome back to the Queen. Triumphant return. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
You look
Good.
older.
It's been a week, so I mean, yeah, I do. I'm a week older. Thanks.
No, like more gray hairs on that chin.
That's how time it goes. You went camping. Did you go with kids?
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
like 40
Fucking-
people. And it was like 30, 40 people. And I had zero access to anything for internet, cell phone, nothing. I'm like, this. Ugh.
I was hoping a bear got you and you died, but
There was bear sightings. I was ready. I had the GAD on me.
no, there's no guns allowed. You said bare knuckle.
Hey,
If
When
you
you're-
came back and we learned that you shot a bear, it would be the most disappointing thing that I heard all week.
what if you learned that I killed a bear with my bare hands? And see, motherfuckers, I fucking told you. Told you I could do it.
And you just had it draped around you tonight.
Oh, I would make it like a workaholics when he buys that bear jacket. Oh, I would wear that thing everywhere.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'd wait for the first day someone dumps some red paint on you. And
Hey, this thing kind of attacked me. It was every man for himself. Kill the fucking bear.
I'm with you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
with you. I would just then you continue to wear it around. It's all stained red, but you're like, fuck it.
It's its own blood. There we
I'm
go.
Bear
Perfect.
Man now. Fuck you. I'm Bear Man.
Man, bear, pig.
Man,
Bear pig. I just
Boys,
watched.
football season is upon us. It's starting right now. Well,
Now
in less than an hour. And it's Bill's first day back, so generally he doesn't, like to be here too long anyway. I'm sure his fatigue is pretty low. What do you say we get things started?
Yeah, I'm on vacation. I have plenty. I don't have any fatigue.
Oh, look at this guy. He's in it for the long haul. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday headline, September 10th. Welcome to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, do the same. Follow us. And most importantly, please tell your friends. And per usual, the Simple Mind Sports Show is brought to you by White Birch Brewing, the best craft brewery in New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
The good side of Amherst Street. Get on down there. It's football season. They got flat screen TV. They got a beautiful tap room to get on down there. Sit down at the bar, get yourself a flight, try the best beers in New Hampshire while taking in some Sunday football. If you can't do that, then get it at your local beer store, wherever you get it. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. It is football season upon us. The one-time favorite son of New England, who is now #dead to us, is raising his 7th banner down in that shithole of a city, Tampa Bay. That's the headline story today, of course, but we're going to talk some weekend football. We're going to start Patriots, as that is a New England Patriots, New England sports show. And we finally get to actually talk about a game, which is pretty nice. That's speculation about, what kind of stupid COVID shit Cam's up to, although that's also on the docket. But let's start Pat's Miami. Heading down, they got Miami week 1 again. Just give me your overall, what are your expectations going into week 1, Raymond?
Mac Jones. What can Mac Jones do? Can he lead this offense like a rookie quarterback has never done before in New England? Is he going to be the new son of New England? I mean, his jersey sales are second in all of NFL to Josh Allen, who is first. So everyone is believing in this kid.
When's my Wuhan shit coming?
Bill, you got to be patient with the Chinese. They're they're backward.
I don't think you can actually say Chinese anymore, right? I'm pretty sure that's racist. We're going to have to beat them.
I didn't say it. That was Bill. Bill's.
I said Wuhan,
He said
motherfucker.
Wuhan.
No,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I did.
yes.
What are
I
you
said
talking
Wuhan,
about?
you fuck.
I did. Sorry.
Anyway,
But
that's a lot of beeps.
Anywho's, but I'm just interested to see what Mac Jones does.
Yeah, what do you think the expectation for the team and Mac Jones is coming into game 1? Let's focus on game 1, Bill. How do you think they're going to handle the rookie here? You think it's gonna? So is it gonna be Tom Brady circa 2001, hand the ball off 35 times, throw it 19, and run, or are they gonna let him air it out a little bit? They're gonna Jimmy Garoppolo his ass and let him throw the ball around.
Yeah, I thought the Jimmy Garoppolo, Arizona, his first career start, I kind of see that. You went out and spent money this year, especially the 2 tight ends. Even Nelson Aguilar's got he's your deep threat, and Kendrick Bourne. I mean, you spent on offense. So I mean, I expect him to throw. You saw him run the no huddle in training camp. You saw him throw a lot. Now you got Stevenson banged up, so you're kind of down a running back with him dislocating his thumb. So I mean, at this point, you can throw on Miami. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Brian Jones, and Xavier Howard's obviously one of the best corners in the league, but they have no one that can cover the tight ends. Their safeties are suspect. They cut their number 1 safety, captain of the team. I forget his name, just slipped my mind, but you have Jonnu Smith that you could run down the seams. They got no one to stop it. I expect, 20, 25 throws a game. Honestly, I expect probably a 50-50 balance. I mean, again, you have one of the best running games in the league now, especially with a Harris and a healthy running game. So, I mean, a healthy offensive line.
Slow the game down. Slow the game down for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to try to slow down as best you can, but you got to, you went out and you're a sneaky good defense. I mean, if not top 5 defense in the league right now, I mean, even with Gilmore out, I think. So, I mean, you can slow the game down and then just suffocate Tua.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. We'll get to the defense in a second. I think that I'm with you, Bill, on Mac Jones things. I think they're going to let him throw it around. I think, play action is going to be big here. If you remember going back to week 1 of last year, Cam Newton and the Patriots ran all over this Miami team. Brian Flores has some inside knowledge, but no one knows anything about Mac Jones. So there is going to be a little bit of a situation where they ain't got tape on him. I think that's made too big of a deal of that in the NFL, but it does play a little bit of a role. I think Bobby McCain was the name you're looking for.
Yeah.
Safety release. And that's it. I mean, they built their offense into a 2 tight end, maybe 3 tight end kind of set with Asiasi. All 3 of them can catch the ball. We haven't seen Hunter Henry in action, but he seems like the perfect guy for Mac Jones. And depending on what they want to do, the drags, out of the backfield, the seam route is, money for the Patriots offense. I expect those guys to have a big day because, like you said, they got nobody who can match up with them. Them and the running backs. Let's see what JJ and James White look like as well in the passing game.
They're saying Ramadan Ding Dong is playing on Sunday.
Ramrod, Team Ramrod. Ramrod. It's Team Ramrod. Come on.
I like that. I like that better.
I'm sticking with the Ramadan Ding Dong.
It's
original.
Say Team Ramrod.
I'll call him a
Car Ramrod.
So I expect him to have a good game.
I fucking love that movie.
What would constitute a good game in week 1 for Mac Jones? Give you stats or what it looks like, and how much, if he does have a good game, how much do we owe to the wonderful Sophie Scott, who's been running through the playbook with him? That's Mac Jones' girlfriend, who we have an existing relationship with on the internet. Toot.
Clean turnover sheet, no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions. I think that would be a great first start for Mac Jones week 1.
2-3 touchdowns, 250 yards. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I think he's going to throw, and you can throw on Miami. I think that's a good around 65%, 65-70% completion percentage. He did it in the preseason. They put him in situations where Cam couldn't do it. You saw the situations, rumors that he was teaching Cam the playbook. I think this kid coming in out of Alabama knows his shit, and they're gonna release him. They have to at this point. I mean, especially if you're getting down in games. I trust a guy that's never played an NFL game in my entire life to come back in a 2-minute offense that Cam Newton did last year.
Yep, and that's what I'm looking for. Give me the 3rd and 6s. Give me the red zone good decisions. Give me a 2-minute drill that gets him in the field goal range or a touchdown. It can be 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. I don't want to go. I would like to see at least him, get one in the end zone there to pop his cherry. But I want to see what it looks like. It's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and they're in the run game gets stalled. Can you pick that up? And how easy does it look? Because last year it was nope, done. If they got 1 yard or less on first down, it's like fucking punt it. It's over. It's over. So that's what I'm looking for. Can we get back to the 3rd and 6 automatic? We know you got 2 or 3 options here. Diagnose it, pick the right one, and throw the ball, get the first down type of thing. Execute.
And that's where your tight ends are going to come in. I mean, I expect a lot of Jonnu Smith routes to be what Gronk used to run straight up the seam. You got to kind of move him all around the line. I mean, I think he's probably going to be your biggest 3rd down threat.
I disagree. I think he's going to be more like an Aaron Hernandez, where you can put him out in the slot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. They've been moving it around, but we haven't seen Hunter Henry, right?
No.
He's brilliant.
Him and Mac
We'll
are
see
like
what he's gonna
this
do.
right now, though. They're
Him and
riding
Jonnu?
it. No,
No,
him and
Hunter Henry.
And Mac Smith. Mac Jones are like fucking tight right now. They're riding the practices together, charity events together, crafts Nantucket party together. Like he's doing everything he can because he hasn't been on the field really to just fucking build that rapport with him. I mean, it's good. It's good to see with a rookie, and everyone's fucking high on him on that offense. I expect that. I
If you look at yeah, I mean, well, just on the Hunter Henry, if you look at how he played in San Diego and the type of routes that he run, in that last game where Jones had some good connections with Asiasi, I expect Hunter Henry in that role. I think he can stretch the field. I think that he can find an open zone and sit in the pocket. I think he's a heady player that knows how to get open and catch it when he is. So I think that's more of a Hernandez role than Jonnu Smith, but I could be wrong, right? They might. I mean, McDaniels has got a fucking hard on the size of fucking Rhode Island with all he can do with these tight ends, especially if Asiasi can play. Forget about it. I mean, a 3-set tight ends that all three of them can come out and catch the ball. They love that type of shit over there, and their wide receiver core is pretty thin. Let's be honest. So Kendrick Bourne and Aguilar do need to step up and catch the balls. I think Jacoby Myers is going to be huge for them. But this is a tight end. This is a 2 tight end offense. I
expect both tight ends. I expect combined to have between 150 and 180 yards receiving combined between those two. I mean, again, your weakness on wide receiver. Who is that kid Myers they just picked up from Miami? Did I see that they grabbed him off waivers? Who looks like another little slot guy? And Nelson Aguilar still has the dropsies. I mean, I think, Jacoby Myers is your best wide receiver, which is saying something considering this is year number 5 of him, 6 of him playing wide receiver, and so I think that's probably the most important thing is to see the connection between him and Mac, because he's the guy that's getting open. He's the guy that knows the playbook better than anybody on that offense. He's the guy that's getting open. And I mean, he had 67 catches last year for 800 yards, 0 touchdowns, but I expect those numbers to go up this year. And again, it's a young guy that's kind of learning to play the position more and more. Quarterback in high school, learned it in kind of in college. So I mean, I expect you got to see that. You got to get that going right away.
Also, with the tight ends, real quick, may I stop you real quick too?
No, he had 1 touchdown that was only 7 less than Cam Newton throwing the ball. So I just wanted that to be noted.
And he threw 2 touchdowns.
Sorry, right, 6 less than Cam Newton last year. Go ahead, Ray.
Also, didn't Miami release all their good linebackers last year? So who's going to be able to cover these tight ends? So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a field day, like Bill's saying. The tight ends are going to lead the receiving core with yards and touchdowns this on Sunday. So
I expect that all year on it. I expect that all year, especially if you can hopefully get 15, 16 games out of Henry and Smith.
You're going to go against some good defenses that have good linebackers that can match up with them, or bring guys in for the nickel, take those tight ends out. So you'll see.
Ideally, you don't. The problem with that, look at Gronk. I mean, I'm not comparing these guys to the greatest tight end of all time, but the way that they scheme that with Gronk and Hernandez,
you also had Tom Brady there
that could cover him. You did.
You also had Tom Brady back there throwing them the ball. You don't have Tom Brady. You have Mac Jones.
And Jonnu Smith's sneaky fast too. Yeah, but Jonnu Smith's sneaky fast.
That's why I'm saying he's like that Hernandez role. He's gonna be able to do the slot, the handoff with the jet sweep and all that kind of shit. So I think
both those guys have proven in their careers they can't be covered by linebackers, especially Jonnu Smith, year number 5, and he's had better seasons every year. Hunter Henry is what he is. I mean, you can't cover him with a linebacker especially in the red zone. No. That's where your safety's and cornerback.
You have to bring someone in.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just you're going to thin the defense there. I mean, I expect Miami to play a lot of fucking nickel and dime defenses with against this team. Probably dare him to run. I swear to God,
run. I think Josh, like I said, McDaniels has a rock hard on right now, and he don't right. Obviously, there's not Tom Brady back there, but in a lot of that work, it is the scheme. Not to stroke the egos or the balls of McDaniels and Belichick here, but he does scheme a lot of guys open. It's just a matter of figuring out which one's going to be open on any given play. We saw Cam Newton going to do it. I think Mac Jones can. I think that's why he's the quarterback. But let's move on to the defense. Can they so all of that praise for the offense, Mac Jones, the tight ends, let's say it doesn't work, or at least if it works in week 1, maybe it doesn't work in week 2, or it's not going to work every week. So can this defense single-handedly win them a game where Mac Jones goes out there and has 4 picks, which is going to happen? Tom Brady did it 3 times in his career. He's going to have a bad game where he has a bunch of interceptions, and the defense is going to have to win them a game. Can they do it? Is this team, can it be defined as steady, explosive, What type of defense can this be, and can they be there in games where Mac Jones is being a rookie, and can they win it for him on more than one occasion this year? I think is going to need to be probably several occasions.
This is a passing league now, so it's kind of scary that you don't have your best quarterback out there with Stephon Gilmore, who's on the pup. So the linebacking core, the front seven, I think they could stop the run. They can probably stop the tight ends, but it's going to be scary when you go against teams like Tom Brady, the passing teams that are just going to dissect these cornerbacks. We saw J.C. Jackson is not that guy. He's not the number one cornerback. So if he took a big leap for year 2, I hope, but I don't see it happening. So I don't think this defense is going to be able to pull it out.
I initially had that same thought, and then you said it, so I'm completely disagreeing with you.
That plays. That makes sense. Yep,
doesn't make sense. All right, so I think the biggest thing
for a year and a half. So yeah, it makes
well, no, I had the same thought. I was going to bring it up, and then you said a couple things that kind of changed my mind a little bit. First thing,
me opening my mouth.
Yeah, hold on, like this.
First thing is related to J.C. Jackson. I think you vastly improved your front seven. You got guys that can rush the quarterback now. I think that makes quarterback play a lot easier, especially if you have guys like Matt Judon, who's been tearing up training camp, getting after quarterback quick. I understand Jackson's not a number one, but he's a great number 2 quarterback. But I mean, we're basing that off of last year when you had one of the worst pass rushers in the league. You just loaded up your front seven, drafted Ronnie Perkins, you Godchow, Judon, you brought back Kyle Van Noy. You got guys that can go after the quarterback now. Josh Uche is looking great, and even Chase Winovich can get the quarterback. If you can apply constant pressure to the quarterbacks, your cornerback play might not have you're not as worried about your cornerback play. You're still going to play in man coverage. Jalen Mills, he's probably better at 3-4 cornerback, but he's thrusting that role. But if you're consistently rushing the passer and you're getting there and applying consistent pressure, balls coming out quicker, balls coming out before they wanted to, bad throws, your cornerbacks might not be get exposed. I think this defense can do it because, again, you just spent a shit ton of money on your front seven. I think the weakness of your team last year was your front seven. You completely overhauled that, and you have a brand new young front seven with a veteran presence in Dante Hightower coming back. I think you can do it because you can stop the run this year, and that's the biggest thing. And again, pressure on the quarterback. If this defense, the front seven alone, rushing 4 or 5 guys can cause consistent pressure on the quarterback, your cornerback play isn't really going to mean all that much to me personally. You kind of hit it on it. I agree with, to answer my own question, can they win games? Yeah, I think this defense can certainly win a number of games in this schedule alone if Mac Jones has a bad day. If he has a bad day with Tom Brady on the side of the field, no, you're going to lose that game. You need your quarterback to be good against other good teams, obviously. But if he goes out week 1 and craps his pants, I think this defense can beat Miami by themselves. That type of game, I think they can do. Well, Tua sucks too, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean,
but what I'm looking for in that front seven is I think that we're all pretty confident that they're going to be able to handle the run, certainly a lot better than the last 2 years. I think that they have enough pass rushers that you mentioned all there, Bill. I want to see what they all look like in space and how many of those guys can you keep on the field on third down to keep all of your options open if you're Belichick or Gerard Mayo on the sideline. Can Uche cover? We saw Judon make some good plays, sparingly in the preseason in coverage. What does Van Noy look like now in coverage? He's never been that guy really a little bit with the Patriots. We know Hightower is a bit of a liability there. So I want to see, Adrian Phillips obviously looks like the nickel. He played linebacker all year last year. You got Kyle Duggar, who got beat a lot in the preseason in that role. So I don't know. I'm curious of how many of those linebackers and what are they, the money backs are going to be out on the field, when it's passing down, because your front seven's only good if they can be out there. So I'm interested in seeing that. Who else? So specifically, who are you excited to watch on Sunday? I had Judon. This is for the defense. Judon, Uche, Perkins, Van Noy, a lot of those linebackers I mentioned. And I'm with you, Ray. I want to see what J.C. Jackson looks like in that number 1 role.
Judon. I want to see what Matthew Judon does. He's been impressing in the preseason. He's talking the talk. I want to see him walk the walk game 1.
Yeah, I think, clean sweep here. Judon is the one I'm most excited for. You know, he's a 3-down linebacker, 4-down linebacker, whatever you want to say really about him. I mean, he could play it all. He's good in coverage. He can rush quarterback, and he's great on the run. So, I mean, that's the one I'm most excited for. And Josh Uche, I think, for me, I was pretty high on him last year. I think Peter King, the beginning of the year, had him as his defensive rookie of the year. You know, so there was a lot of hype, at least nationally, coming from him. And I think he battled injuries a lot last year. But when he was in there, he made some plays. He can compete. You know, it's the biggest thing. I'm just nervous about his injuries, but I'm pretty excited to see if he'll make that leap, because I think if he does that, I mean, you have two guys on the edge and Judon and Uche that could get after the quarterback. I mean, you get 10 sacks out of Uche this year, 10, 12 out of Judon. I mean, you almost had more sacks with those two guys this year than you would all of last year. We had 22 sacks last year or something. So, I mean, that's who I'm most excited to be, is just the edge rushers. And I'll throw out there a guy, Ronnie Perkins. You know, a lot of, you know, he fell in the draft because he's a weed guy. But
he's a weed guy. He's a Bill guy.
I like him. I mean, he played good at Oklahoma, and again, he's another guy that's going to come down. I think he's the guy you're going to see a lot on third down. I think Uche, Judon, Hightower, Van Noy is probably the guys you're going to see on third down. Those are the guys that can kind of move out in coverage and go after the quarterback. So, I mean, you're probably going to Gaichow or Lawrence Guy is your three or your nose tackle, and then you're going to leave. I think those four guys on there.
Probably they're the best players, the best suited to do it. Now you got me thinking, have the Patriots had I mean, they've had some great linebackers. They've held steady at their middle linebacker and, you know, the Van Noy, Ninkovich, Vrabel position. Those guys that's always been two steady positions for them. Have they had a guy like Matthew Judon who can rush, cover, do anything you want at the linebacker position, really? Like you said, all four downs. Put some thought. Don't answer to it now. He might be a real unique unicorn in that linebacker position for the Patriots that they've never really had at that elite level of athleticism.
Well, you had Andre Tippett, but that's going back. But Adalius Thomas, Judon is the guy that you hoped Adalius Thomas was going to be. That's a guy coming over from Baltimore that was supposed to, do it all. And he didn't. He didn't at all.
Anything,
all right, let's wrap it up with your expectations of the first quarter of this season. Generally, you know, we know traditionally Belichick likes to treat it as an extended preseason training camp and then start to build from there. I think we've had this conversation before. I think we all are in the agreement that combination with the schedule, which is soft the first few games minus the Bucks, Mac Jones being a rookie, a bad year last year, pressure on Bill. I think they're coming out guns blazing. I think they're coming out to a hot start. I think that's important to them and getting the rookie quarterback some confidence. Are you guys on the same page there? Or do you think that Bill's going to slow play this one again?
Nope. Your job's on the line. I mean, all of New England looks at Tampa Bay. No,
fuck you. Jobs on the line. Jesus Christ.
You don't think his job's on the line?
That guy will coach in fucking New England until he dies or wants to quit. He is not. Kraft will never fire him. Never.
Okay.
If they go 6-11, or if they go 6-11 the next two seasons, and the whole team is quit on, you know, they didn't talk. No, definitively, Bill Belichick is not coaching for his job this year.
I'll give you 250 million reasons why he's not coaching for his
I'll give you 25. That's going into his fucking bank account off whatever the coast of Nantucket. Shipwreck Cove, Bill Belichick has his shekels fucking buried in. Anyway, go ahead, Ray.
No, first quarter of season 4. No, they're gonna take it.
Bill, hot start.
I think it's a 3-1. I think you got New Orleans, you got Miami. I forget the.
Jets. But they're playing to win.
The Jets, they're
not holding anything back. As in, you know, in previous years, we'd see them come out and maybe start 2-2. You know, in a lot of the Super Bowl years, they've started 2-2. I think it was 1-3 at the Kansas City Massacre, right? And then they go on to win the Super Bowl.
No, they were 2-2.
Were they 2-2? Okay, well, either way, and you know, in the whole narrative is of the Patriots taking a step back. I don't think the record's going to show what the mentality is moving. I think we're going to be able to see it on the field. Are they bringing everything that they can to get the win? And then lastly here on this 9.5, it was the last time I checked on the win total for the Pats. Hammer that over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
like that over.
I could see a 10-7, 11-6.
10's not quite hammering, but
no, honestly, that's where I think 10-11 wins with the rookie quarterback this year. You're fighting for a wild card. Honestly, I don't think unless Mac Jones looks like Patrick Mahomes his first year starting. I don't think you're better than Buffalo. So I mean, 10, 11 wins. Seems like a good benchmark for them.
It's the over for sure. Okay, we went long on that. So quickly, I want to touch on two things here left in the NFL. Cam Newton is coming out today as it's released on his Funky Friday show. I think it's an Instagram show. I don't know. And he said that he has
YouTube,
a lot.
Right? Yeah.
He's a YouTube. He said that he has a lot to get off his chest. I don't know if he's ripping the Superman logo finally off that and quitting on that little celebration.
Hey, there's 32 quarterbacks that aren't better than him in this league.
Okay,
right
what
now,
is he gonna say, Bill? It's not gonna be some juicy shit from the Patriots, right? It's just gonna be, hey, I'm still here, I'm ready to play. Or do you think we're gonna get a little bit of a scorned lover kind of reaction from Cam on Friday?
The score and lover thing you can kind of see. Bill didn't really say a lot of nice things. It took him 2 press conferences just to mention Cam Newton, right? I mean, I think Felger and Maz were saying it was a little unorthodox. Usually you're kind of praising that guy, especially how you stuck up for him for the last year and change. Sorry
to interrupt you, but isn't that classic Belichick though? Just get this guy off your lips. He's out of the building. We're not talking about him anymore. Yeah. Like you said, for a year and a half, all he could do was praise this guy and tell us how great he is. And now he's gone. It's like, nope, not talking about it anymore.
I mean, I'd love to see like a behind the scenes thing of like exactly what happened. Was it like, they asked me to get vaccinated. I said I wouldn't. So I got cut, or they came in and said my play kind of sucked. I disagreed. And then they cut me, whatever, because there was didn't sound like there was any option for him to come back as a backup or anything like that. They just, boom, cut him. They didn't try to trade him. They kind of supposedly did him a favor. That way he could kind of pick where he wanted to go, but it seems like no one wants him. I would love to see some behind the scenes shit of see the reason he got cut, because I think all of us believe outside of his play was the COVID decision. I think that had a lot to do with it. You're kind of seeing it. I think it had a big influence on guys that were getting cut in the league. As much as the league denies it, it's going to happen. Jacksonville did it and then denied it. So, I mean, I'd love to see that shit. That's the stuff I want to see. But you're going to say, I respect the Patriots. He gave me the shot, blah, blah, blah. It didn't work out. Mac Jones, he's probably got Mac Jones beat me. I thought I had a chance, but I don't expect anything crazy to come out of it.
Ray, do you think Cam feels slighted by the Patriots?
Yeah, because I bet you he feels like he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Does he honestly think that, or is he playing the game to get another contract?
He's playing the game to get another contract.
He has to know that he's not still good like he was before.
It's Cam Newton, man. That ego is so fucking big. He probably could barely fit in that quarterback room with that head.
Like they make him watch tape. Can he see himself? Like, bud, we all know when we passed our prime. Like, you can feel it. You know it.
I've known it for a long time.
That fucking thing has sailed. Like, I can't do
Ray passed his prime when he turned 21.
Anyway, it should be interesting, and by that I mean it probably won't be interesting. It'll probably be a lot of boring fluff. All right, real quickly here, the NFL does kick off tonight as we record. Bucks Cowboys, Tom Brady, 300th regular season game. I didn't even bother to put in like all of what the people that have started and not started it. We get it. He's a fucking dinosaur. He's been here forever. Every time he takes a snap, he's breaking some kind of record, including 7 Super Bowls. In the 7th, they're raising the banner tonight. How do you guys feel about Brady raising the banner, and what do you think of the Bucks real quickly this year? People got him going fucking undefeated. I'm not in that camp, but interested to see what you think.
Bill, I'll go very quickly. Bill, let me go first. Fuck him. Fuck Tampa Bay. Fuck that team. Fuck that organization. I hope he gets his fucking that guy's a cunt.
Okay, real stellar analysis. I don't like the wishing injury on anybody, because I think karma's a bitch and you will eat that.
Oh, what's gonna happen to me? Oh, I probably will eat it.
No, Judon will go down in week fucking 1. Take it back.
I take it back.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, I don't want to wish injury. I just hope and pray for injury.
See, tactfully work yourself around it.
But no, I mean, as a former Brady fan, he is dead to me. He needs 280 yards to break the passing record in New England. I mean, as a Patriots fan, as Brady used to be a fan of his, it would be kind of cool to see him break it where it all started. But
no problem. Wake up tomorrow morning, you'll be broke.
Yeah. At the same time, tear your
damn it, Bill. I'm just going to beep that so the gods don't hear it.
No. I'm not wishing. I'm just kind of like praying that if something happened, that it was just a catastrophic injury where it would just career-wise that he will just not be able to break all these records.
Okay.
Eat a dick.
Oh, that'd be sweet if it was at 279 and he got hurt and then he couldn't break any of the records. Nice.
No, he needs 280 yards per game for the next 4.
Okay, so I hope he just doesn't get it by New England. I hope he gets.
Okay.
Can you just cut this whole section? You
Yeah,
want to start over? Ready? Ask the question again.
No, that's okay. I'll just finish it. Tom Brady is the greatest player of all time. It sucks fucking balls. It sucks. Everything that we just said is just projecting anger that he's still not on the Patriots, that they couldn't work it out after 20 years, that he couldn't get the 7th and figure it out and go off on a high note in the Patriots uniform. We're all just pissed that he did it down in Tampa, and he's turned into an absolute
And he's taking shots at Patriots fans in commercials. Suck my dick, Brady.
Yeah, he is the scorn lover. He is a childish little baby. And the Felger Mass show, they are great at the trolling job, and I think they're dead on with this. That Seth Wickersham book's coming out. He got an advanced copy. He looks like an asshole in that thing, and he's pissed about it. So
Brady does.
Yep,
he's getting ahead of it.
What is this coming out about? Sorry,
it's coming out after the Bucks Patriots game. So week 5.
What is it? What's it on?
It's on the Palace Q. It's on everything that went down from Bill's and ownership's perspective.
Oh, of course, Bill's the one that was fucking feeding him all that bullshit because you have noticed how he looked so good and made Brady look bad, dude. Please.
Well, yeah. Please. Well, the other one came out before.
I'm going to read this Brady book and like come on every page.
I believe all of it, by the way. They were all fucking assholes to each other, and Brady was not. We've gone over this. Brady should not be given a pass for what happened in New England. He should have gotten a contract. He didn't and blah blah blah. We've been over it.
Should have wrote his 2014.
Fuck, damn it! All right, can we move on? We're gonna move on to
It's been a week of this. You're getting a shit ton of beats tonight.
Okay. Before we do that, if Tom Brady unfortunately does suffer an injury at 44 years old, we aren't wishing that upon him. Make that clear, gods. If he does, I recommend Dr. Tom down there in Rhode Island. Get yourself some CBD, the New England's leading educator.
I'm still waiting for mine from Dr. Tom.
Okay, we'll get it to you. Ray's stupid dog that shall not be named is sucking those things down on the regular, calming down. What'd you get him? What'd you get him?
I got him the oil. I got him the oils that I give him twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. It's a full little syringe of it. That's it. Put it in his food and he's good to go.
He was a barking dog that was annoying, and now he's not. He's calm and mellow.
I'll leave that one alone.
And that's what Dr. Tom can do for you. He will contact you directly via the email. If you're Ray, that's how he says it, the email. And if you place an order, he'll get right in touch with you. And by the way, every order that you place, you get a free sample. Get with Dr. Tom. Let him answer all the questions that you have about CBD and healthy remedies and medical marijuana. Go to backtobasicsllc.com. That's BAK, the number 2, basicsllc.com. The Red Sox, Bill, are right on track for Dickey's path to the playoff. Not sure if you noticed this, but quickly before we do that, let's do the COVID update. So they had at least 13 players that went on as recently as their last game on Wednesday. Danny Santana was back. Kike Hernandez was back. They kicked Franchi and that motley crew reject Taylor Motter. They're gone. Franchi's back in Woo Sox and Motter is back on tour.
Who the fuck is Taylor Motter?
That's what I was saying.
Was that the guy that started like that random game last week, a Sunday game?
Yeah, he was at second base. He leaned over to catch a ball from center field. He missed the play, by the way, missed the ball completely, and his fucking gut just hung over in his long, shaggy hair. He looked like some guy from an 80s hair metal. Anyway, they're gone. And then the recent thing to come out today, I sent you guys, Hunter Renfroe basically was on EEI. He went on and said that in the midst of the outbreak, MLB basically told him to stop testing and just treat the players with the symptoms. Yeah. MLB came out obviously and denied that. I don't know why Hunter Renfroe would make that up. I don't have a history of Hunter Renfroe and his tinfoil hat kid a fucking life loser conspiracy theory. But I can definitely see it coming from MLB. We need to put a lid on this thing. Stop announcing that people are getting COVID over there. We're not canceling your games.
Just put them on a DL.
You didn't get to the 85 threshold, so 85% threshold of vaccination. So you're going to play these. Stop telling people your whole team has COVID. I can see that as a motivator for the MLB. Anyway, your quick thoughts on the Red Sox and the COVID situation and getting through it. Go ahead. We haven't heard from you, Bill, on this one. So it's
I 100% think the MLB definitely told them to stop testing and just play through it. Again, they're one of 7 teams that are under that 85% threshold, but I could see MLB trying to save face. Like, they looked very good last year after the first month. St. Louis and Florida were the 2 bad ones with the strip clubs and the shit like that. And then you didn't really see anything until Justin Turner in the World Series. Now you're seeing the biggest outbreak you've had since last year is on the Red Sox. So, I mean, if I'm baseball, yeah, you're trying to sweep this shit under the rugs. You especially for the state of Massachusetts, you want fans in the stadiums now, but this is what baseball, they won't try to get revenue. I think it has a lot to do with that. The mask mandate now is for anywhere indoors in Fenway, which is fucking stupid. I don't know.
Is there an indoors in Fenway technically?
The bathrooms and the concourses, I guess.
No doors.
Anyway, dude, I don't know, but I mean, I'm just saying, I think that there's got to be something to do with it. What I mean? Yeah. You're trying to keep the fans in there. You're seeing this huge COVID outbreak with this new Delta variant or whatever fuck other variant's going to come out every other goddamn week. So, I mean, yeah, of course, I think MLB said, yeah, sweep this shit out of the rug. Stop testing players.
Yeah, the other side of it is a number of the players that either were in contact or tested positive were vaccinated. The first being Kiki Hernandez, who got on the flight, was not tested. They're not tested as much as unvaccinated players, got on the flight and affected the unvaccinated, which then, started the whole thing. So that's the hypothesis anyway. So yeah, I don't know why Hunter Renfroe would make it up. It doesn't look good for the MLB. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot. Welcome to the MLB story, but they've got through it. They basically beat COVID with some fucking Woo Sox players and Motley crew members, continuing with a avoidance of a sweep in their last game against the Rays with Hunter Renfroe himself. What a throw, Renfroe.
And the home run.
That game.
Don't forget
the home run to take the lead.
Two-run jack. Yep.
He had 2 outfield assists that game. He leads the majors in outfield assists. That play to end the game, another fucking shitty play by a Red Sox center fielder.
Who
Danny
was
Santana.
that? Was that Santana? Okay.
Yeah. Bad play on 2 outs. There was bad baseball all around except for the throw by Renfroe, because you got 2 outs. You're in center field. Nobody on base. I forget who hit the ball, but he hit it to Santana.
Mentor Wagner.
Bad play. Gives himself a short hop. Was never going to catch that fucking ball. So if he just plays it on the hop, you keep a guy at first base with 2 outs. You don't let him get to scoring position. The runner trying to take third with 2 outs, down 1. You never run yourself out of an inning, never mind a fucking game. But it was a hose by Renfroe.
What a cannon, though.
Devers. Yeah, nice play.
Renfroe reminds me of the fake tough guy in high school that wore clothes. No, the clothes that were too small for them, so they look more jacked. You ever see him out there in his uniform? It's like skin tight. It makes him look more jacked. Hell of a season this year, but still, fake tough guy.
Hell of a season, Ray. He is currently at hold on, let me see if I can
27 home runs, 80 RBIs, 260 batting average.
There you go. You had it.
Roughly.
Yeah. My thing fucking clicked out of it. That's okay. Yeah, he's probably the best move that Chaim Bloom has made in the free agent market, honestly. Timur Kike. Well, Renfroe's had a great year. The game itself, Evaldi went there, 7 shutout innings. A guy that you can actually trust. Between him and Sale, you got 2 guys I think you can trust out there. 8 innings, 8 Ks. I'm sorry. Richards gets the win with 1 out. Beautiful little stat pump up for him. Somehow Hansel and Gretel got the save. You're now a half game up of the Yankees. You're hosting the wild card playing game. You're 2 up on Toronto, which just beat the shit out of the Yankees. Are they winning tonight, by the way? Is anyone got a score on that?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
You're 2.5 up on the Mariners.
1-0 in Toronto.
There you go. 3 up on the A's. Here's your remaining schedule and Dickey's path to the playoffs. White Sox, 3 games left. Don't get swept. Mariners, 3 games left. 2 out of 3. Orioles, 3 games left. 6 games left total. Take 4 to 6 of those guys. Mets, just split the 2-game series. Yankees, don't get swept. Nats, 2 out of 3. That's winning baseball. You're hosting the All-Star game right now. If you want to get froggy and take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, you'll probably close the door on them catching you. The Red
Don't
Sox
sleep on Seattle though, Rich. They're 2.5 back in the wild card right now with the big 3-game series coming. I don't expect them to win, but I mean, you get 2 out of 3. I mean, they're 2.5 games back of the Red Sox. Real quick, hold on. Hunter Renfroe, 27-85 and 78 runs, hitting 267. Great season. I mean, that's a great year.
Here's why I am not worried about the Seattle Mariners or the A's. The A's are basically dead fish walking. However,
Bassett injury really hurt them.
Killed them. They have 7 games against each other.
Yeah.
So unless the A's really pack it in and the Mariners just sweep, they're going to, history tells us they're going to beat up on each other, which is going to hurt the Seattle's chances to really catch the Red Sox. And yeah, don't get me wrong. If the Sox collapse and go lose 4-6 to the Orioles and don't take care of business against the Nats, then sure, they can lose it. But I don't think that's what this team is right now. I think that they were given a bolt of energy from their COVID crew that came in, the young kids looking to play and got some scrappy wins. I think Chris Sale comes in, and every time he pitches, the team's looking to play. Same with Evaldi. I think that they're going to be good enough to tread water and get themselves to a playing game. You give me Chris Sale, and now that Garrett Cole has an injury, maybe he can't play. Give me Chris Sale in a playing game to get to the playoffs. Yeah, I take that chance all day long. And I think they're going to get there. I've been saying it for months. And the Red Sox ownership and Chaim Bloom will wave their flag of fucking victory, and the trading deadline debacle will go away, and that'll be that.
And don't sleep on Evaldi starting, especially if you get a home playing game. He's 3-0 in his last 8 starts with a 1.27 ERA at home.
He would be your game 1 starter for an ALDS against the Rays, which not a bad start.
No, because I mean, ideally you'd want Chris Sale for that, but he didn't look good the other day against Tampa. I know he only gave up 1 run, but there was some bad defense, but he didn't pitch all that great. So I mean, he's definitely, I would trust him more in your playing game, but you kind of wish you didn't have to play that game and had him start. And him, Evaldi, god damn, I don't even know who he would start in
Pivetta.
Erod or Pivetta, but Pivetta's got COVID, don't he?
He'll be back for that.
Yeah.
I'm not starting Erod, I'll tell you that.
It's probably Pivetta, but
you know what, boys? We've actually run out of time. Let me just get real quick. No, you know what? We've run out of time. If you want to stick around for the Dark 30 baseball show, we'll have a little baseball talk. We'll do some lineup talk. How about that? That's always fun. But for now, this has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday headlines, September 10th. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I forget what I was going to. Oh, before I do want to hear the lineup talk because it is interesting to me, the shuffling that's going to have to go around. But Derek Jeter inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Most overrated shortstop of all time.
That's what I was looking for.
Don't at me.
Ray, I know that you don't care about his playing career, but his dating career.
I don't. Most MVP of all time, man. Man, oh man. Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel, Mariah Carey.
His pussy game is strong.
Tyra Banks. Sure. Who else? Oh,
Minka Kelly. Don't sleep on Minka Kelly from Friday Night Lights.
Scarlett Johansson. Oh,
he had Scarlett?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh,
MVP.
And
most valuable penis.
In his post nutting. Oh, that's a good one. Dude, his post nut clarity is a fruit basket and a gift basket, and get the fuck out. I love it.
Who's the girl from Fast and Furious? Jordan
Brewster.
Yep, she's in
Have
there.
you seen like
a bunch of models on there too?
Have you seen the starting 9 that he's at? Like they put him on a baseball that it's like good for him. Who's he married to? Like some model, right? No?
Yeah. Hannah something. Yeah. She's a model. Yeah, but definitely one of the most overrated shortstop of all time. I was looking.
Wasn't he banging some USA soccer player too?
That was Nomar, me and him.
No, Jeter was too, I thought.
I don't think so.
Hope Solo.
I've seen her pussy.
Not the greatest.
Not the greatest.
Okay, put it and mark it down. Put it in the ledger. The other guys inducted Ted Simmons, who played in the 70s. It's that, what do they call it, Bill? It's when the old guys vote together and like this guy never made it, so let's
on the
back.
Like, I forget the Veterans Committee or whatever it is.
Whatever.
No one cares.
I might get in trouble with this, but I don't think he's black. A lot of those guys, because like there was so much fucking racism, like, yeah, this guy should have gone in, but these racist pricks didn't let him in. I don't think Ted Simmons was black. He just wasn't good enough in the.
I don't
80s
even
to
know
get
who the
in.
fuck he is.
I don't either. He's played for the Cardinals. The guy I do know who he is, who's not a fucking Hall of Famer in my book, is Larry Walker. How the hell did that guy get in the Hall of Fame?
He was borderline. I think he was on kind of outside of Jeter. It wasn't. Like
Ted Simmons, what can be?
Yeah, it's one of those years like Jim Rice got in. You think Jim Rice is a Hall of Famer? No fucking way.
No, but I give Larry Walker.
I would take Larry Walker over Jim Rice.
No, here's why. Steroid era. How is Mark McGwire not in there, but Larry Walker is? Because he got caught.
He never got linked to steroids.
Fuck that. That's dumb.
Didn't
That's
he
dumb.
hit like over 400 one year?
Jesus Christ, Ray. Jesus fucking Christ.
No?
He played in Colorado and hit like 1,000 home runs in the steroid era. But it's looked past because he never got caught. Fuck that.
Ray, do me a favor. Look up when the last person.
Ted Williams. Sorry. He wasn't it
406. He went like 4 for 6 in a doubleheader.
What did Larry Walker do? I thought he had like some like ridiculous
Tony Gwynn hit like
479, I think. 479 in 2003.
Tony Gwynn was the closest. I think he hit like 391 or 392.
Yeah. All right, let me do this. I want to do this lineup talk because what the fuck are the Red Sox going to do? And of course, I'm talking about the Schwarber triangle of fuckery and JD Martinez and the outfield. The Jose Iglesias move, I like
it. I actually like it because he's probably your starting second baseman, honestly.
Well, let's go into that. So here's your best lineup, I think, and you got a big hole in it. Your outfield is Verdugo in left, Kiki in center, Renfroe in right. Your infield, starting with first base, is Kyle Schwarber, who's never played before.
No, I don't like that.
Well, you have to play him in your lineup.
Then Iglesias goes on the bench.
Finish. Okay, so because Iglesias at second base, Devers at third, obviously shortstop Bogarts, and then your DH is JD. If that's not the case, then you bring Brian Dahlbach into first base.
Bobby.
Sorry, I always do that. Brian Dahlbach. I like Brian Dahlbach.
You know, I met him at a fucking PJ O'Sullivan's on Manchester.
I met him too at a grocery store one time.
It was a fucking dude. He used to when he was coaching for Nashville Pride.
Oh, that's where I met him. I used to work for
Pride. He used to coach for the Pride, and then he was up at PJ O'Sullivan's. It's not even there anymore, but we used to go there every Sunday to watch the Sunday Ticket because they had all the games, and he was sitting there at the end of the bar. I'm like, "You're Brian Dahlbach?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we would crush beers with Dahlbach on the field after the games. So Bobby Dahlbach goes in at first base, which if you're trusting that he's going to have the August that he had after 4 other months of dog shit, all right, okay.
Give me his hitting over
first base.
Give me his hitting over Iglesias. So
okay, but hold on, Bill. Let me finish because now in left field you have either JD Martinez who sucks or Kyle Schwarber who sucks. So you got a shitty left field or you got a shitty first base. What do you want?
Sure, God damn it. At least, oh shit. I mean, honestly, Dahlbach makes the most sense at first, and I think Kiki at second, and then you Schwarber.
Look at what center field has looked like without Kiki Hernandez out there.
It's looked terrible.
So
but
you have a shitty center field and a shitty left field.
Defensively, it makes sense to have Dahlbach at first. I know he's played very bad, but at least he's played. Kyle Schwarber has played 5 games at first base in basically his whole career, and 4 of them I think are with the Red Sox, or 5 of them with the Red Sox. He never played before.
He never played before he got to the Red Sox.
So I think that's a big problem, and you're going to trust Dahlbach a little more defensively, especially if you do advance in the playoffs and you do make it through that play-in game. Like that's where you're going to worry about your outfield defense. Yeah, that's going to definitely take a hit with Verdugo in center. I think Verdugo is your better left fielder, but to get I don't trust the pitching. So you really need to stack that lineup the best that you can. And I think Dahlbach's hitting power potential and the back of that lineup is worth more than Jose Iglesias playing second base, truthfully. And especially because once you get out at Fenway, so you're going to be a wild card team. You're going to be playing on the road. You know, Fenway's probably the worst outfield to play, the hardest outfield to play in the majors, especially now that fucking Houston kind of got rid of the little fucking hill they had out there. I mean, right field's probably the hardest, and then you got the monster and the triangle. So at least when you can kind of back away, you could probably put JD honestly out in left field and kind of let him do what he does.
Disagree with you on the outfield thing. Fenway left field, Manny Ramirez played for 8 years. So That
He
tells you
also
what
played
left
at
field is.
shortstop.
Well, that's my point. You don't need athleticism in left field in Fenway. Everywhere else, you need to be able to run a little bit. Schwarber and JD can't. So it's a liability. I think you're right. I mean, I think inevitably you're right. And the idea of bringing Iglesias in for defense at the end of the game, if you have a lead, is intriguing.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. You're going to put your defensive replacements in, especially late in the game. Especially you have no fucking closer right now. Barnes just being Barnes.
Here's two greater points. First, the fact that Bobby Dahlbach is in the conversation that he has to be in the lineup is kind of a fucking miracle after the year that he had. So I'm not totally trustworthy that he can keep it going. So that this whole thing might be kaput in a week if he goes back into the shitter, and it might just automatically be Schwarber at first because the kid can't hit again.
Well, this is where he took off last year. If you look at him last year, August and September were his big months, Dahlbach. So, I mean, that's kind of what you're hoping. Maybe it's something finally clicked. He is hitting right-handed pitching, which is he's been struggling at since April, basically hitting the right-handed pitching now. So, I mean, if he can provide pop at the back 8-9 hole in your lineup, what he bat 6th the other night, 5th? Like they moved him way up in the lineup. So, I mean, they're trusting him now. You're seeing Cora kind of stick with them. I still think he sucks as defensive first baseman. But again, that he has 30, 40 home run potential. Like the power.
Yeah, look, I mean, I would love for him to be good. That you certainly need that with your pitching and everything else that is going on. The greater point is you still don't have a real first baseman on this team.
No.
You don't have one.
No.
You have 3 guys that should be DHing, and JD, Schwarber, and Dahlbach.
You forgot one, Devers.
Devers.
Dude, he has looked so bad. And Dahlbach hasn't helped him. Hasn't helped them one bit. I mean,
I guess that's probably why you're right, Bill, because their defense is already shit pretty much everywhere else. You might as well just slug your way out of it. And if center field has to sacrifice, then just make sure Renfroe gets the ball so we can throw him out from 450 wherever.
He's not even going to win a Gold Glove this year either, and it's going to be a joke. And he leads the league in fucking outfield assists. Major League Baseball, by the way, he has more outfield assists than like 7 teams. Like fuck out of here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Cora's going to earn his money. Hey, you hear Freddie Freeman's far apart on the extension? There's a first baseman.
My God, please come to Boston. Please come to Boston. He's my favorite player in baseball right now. Please come to Boston. Speaking of guys that fucking tore it up, he's at 220 in May. He's working his way in the MVP conversation. The Braves have. They made some trades. Duvall, Rosario. They made a couple other good deals at the deadline, and they fucking took off. They're leading that division by 5 games right now. The Mets they spent way more at the deadline, and the Mets aren't there. They fucking fell off a cliff. Imploded
like the Mets do. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was fun baseball talk, Ray. Good job. This has been Simple Minds Sports Show. Dark 30 Baseball Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bill hasn't been here for a week. I'll let him go. That's what I do.
You were just looking up Derek Jeter's dating record Hall of Fame on Instagram.
No, it's on Barstool. You can go right there. They have a whole fucking spreadsheet.
The whole starting lineup.
I knew it. That stupid smirk behind the fucking mic.